Good evening and welcome to this edition of Newsleader on 6. I'm Jim Fuller.
And I'm Amelia Marquez. In tonight's news, 2 Coffee County men are charged with criminal homicide. The National Highway Traffic Safety Administration has asked to investigate a Franklin County wreck which claimed 3 lives. Confidential tips helped Tennessee officials identify a record amount of misused taxpayer dollars and government funds in the past fiscal year. Bonnaroo will be announcing their lineup of stars next week, plus a new water line to the site will result in some major improvements for this year's event. We'll have these stories and more on tonight's Newsleader on 6.
I'm Philip Bourne, Stamp Nab Detail Shop Manager. Here are a few things our customers have to say about our service.
What I love most about the Stamp McNabb Detail Shop is there's someone local that I can trust to pick up my car, have it cleaned, and deliver it back to me in showroom condition.
What really amazed me is when he opened the hood and looked like he had taken the old engine out and put a new engine inside.
We have several different packages and individual services to get your vehicle looking like new again. We're located just behind Stamp McNabb Chevrolet dealership. Call today, schedule an appointment, and see what the difference our detail can make.
Let the Smokehouse be your mountain getaway destination in beautiful Monteagle, Tennessee. Enjoy our cabins, restaurant, and old general store. Shop thesmokehouse.com featuring homemade barbecue sauces, jellies, and many other fine Tennessee products. Our live Music on the Mountain series features some of the best local and Nashville talent every Friday and Saturday night, 6:30 p.m. No cover, kids welcome.
Welcome back. Special agents from the Tennessee Bureau of Investigation have charged 2 men in an ongoing homicide investigation in McMinnville at the request of 31st District Attorney General Lisa Zabo-Giannis. TBI agents joined the investigation into the death of Sablo Luna shortly after local authorities found the body of the 43-year-old with an apparent gunshot wound outside of his Beersheba Highway residence. During the course of the investigation, agents working alongside the McMinnville Police Department and the Warren County Sheriff's Department developed information which led to Tyler Jones and Nicholas McGee as at least 2 of the individuals responsible for Luna's death. The investigation continues with the possibility of additional subjects and charges. Wednesday morning, authorities arrested Jones, age 19 of Manchester, and McGee, age 20 of Tullahoma, charging each with 1 count of criminal homicide. Both subjects were subsequently booked into the Warren County Jail on a $1 million bond each.
The Winchester Police Chief says the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration has been called in to investigate the possibility that a mechanical issue caused a fatal Winchester crash. Lynette and Aaron Hill, along with their 7-year-old twin sons, James and John Hill, were involved in a horrific crash on New Year's Eve. The family's van was stopped at Highway 41 when a car driven by an 83-year-old woman slammed into the back of its at nearly 90 miles per hour. The twin boys died from their injuries. Both parents suffered serious injuries. Investigators now believe it's possible that the car that hit Hill's vehicle suffered a mechanical issue before the crash occurred. Chief Dennis Young told Nashville's News 2 that evidence allegedly shows that the elderly woman did attempt to stop her car prior to the impact. Chief Young also said that the model of the car she was driving has a history of gas pedals sticking, leading to unwanted acceleration.
The Manchester Police Department has accepted a challenge from the Manchester City School System to a charity basketball game to raise money for the Hill family. Donations will be accepted in lieu of admission and all proceeds will go to the family. MPD encourages everyone to come support the law enforcement and school system employees and help the Hill family during this very difficult time. The game will be held on January 28th at 6:30 p.m. at the Westwood Middle School Gymnasium.
Confidential tips helped Tennessee officials identify a record amount of misused taxpayer dollars and government funds in the past fiscal year. According to news released from the Tennessee Comptroller of Treasury on Tuesday, the department uncovered more than $1.1 million in confirmed thefts, questionable costs, and shortages in public funds statewide from July 2014 to June 2015. The Comptroller says that's thanks to anonymous tips to its online and telephone hotline. Those tipsters helped uncover fraud, waste, abuse of public funds across a number of entities, including municipalities, counties, states, agencies, and nonprofit recipients of government funds.
Bonnaroo announced earlier this week that the much anticipated announcement of the festival's 15th anniversary lineup will take place on Tuesday, January 19th, exclusively on TBS's Conan, which airs locally at 10 p.m. This year's edition will once again showcase the far-reaching range of diverse artistry that fans have come to expect, with more than 150 musicians, bands, and comedians performing across 12 unique stages during the world-renowned 4-day event taking place June the 9th through June 12th at Great Stage Park in Manchester.
Bonnaroo's milestone 15th anniversary will be celebrated with the addition of an array of new amenities and infrastructure improvements. For the first time, Great State Park, home of Bonnaroo, will now feature its own permanent water line, allowing for the installation of more than 400 permanent toilets, hundreds of permanent shower stalls, and a large number of water filling stations newly installed throughout the site. Other significant improvements are planned for the 2017 and as organizers continue to enhance Bonnaroo's experience and make the Great State Park as an essential destination for future events.
Stay with us. We'll be right back in a moment with more Newsleader on 6.
Trucks, trucks, and more trucks. Russell Barnett Ford of Tullahoma and Winchester is your home for both new and pre-owned trucks. We have a huge selection of over 200 trucks to choose from. Check us out on the web at russellbarnett.com and view our great selection. We are your truck headquarters, and we want to be your one-stop shop. That's Russell Barnett Ford of Tullahoma and Winchester, your truck headquarters. Trucks, trucks, and more trucks. Why buy anywhere else?
When your family suffers the loss of a loved one, the caring and compassionate staff at Tullahoma Funeral Home and Coffee County Funeral Chapel are standing by to assist you in every way possible. We are proud to support local industry and offer only Batesville caskets. Many funeral homes don't own or operate a crematory. We utilize the only crematory in Coffee County. Your loved one never leaves Coffee County. We can accommodate any need and any budget. Consider our complete pre-need service to remove this burden from your family during their time of grief. Lock in today's low costs and protect from inflation. Tullahoma Funeral Home and Coffee County Funeral Chapel. Our family caring for your family.
Welcome back. Jim spoke recently with Tullahoma Mayor Lane Curley, who gives us a perspective on the city for 2016.
2016 is going to be a great year for the community. There's so many exciting things that that are in the works. I think we're going to see some dramatic improvements and changes in retail. Medical is still going to be a strength. Light Tube continues to grow in the community. And we just, the Splash Island, it was a big success, I think, by any
Did you ever
definition.
Imagine that Splash Island would be that big a success?
Well, I hoped it would be, but you never know. I mean, that's, again, part of leadership. You never know what's going to happen. And, but yeah, I felt comfortable that there was a demand for that in the community. I mean, where we had it before was just a big bathtub, basically, and we were averaging 90 people a day. I mean, nothing. Right. And so now we're averaging, 8 times that many on some days. So it's just, that was a big deal. But really the bigger issue is, as I've told you before, and I've told many other people, part of what I want to do as mayor I think my biggest job as mayor is to define where we want to be in the future, and then inspire others to help reach that vision. And so, my vision is that we want to be considered a world-class community in everything that we do. I want our companies to be world-class. I want our churches to be world-class. I want our civic clubs to be world-class. I want everything to be world-class, and always strive to do the best in everything that we do. And part of that mission is that I want to design a community that's attractive for young families to either remain here, return here, or relocate here. And so that's why we do all the things that we do, the Arts Council, the Get Fit Tullahoma, the Go Green Tullahoma, because these young families want to live in artsy, fit, green communities. Mm-hmm. That's why we have Splash Island, to be attractive to these young families. That's why we have lights at the soccer field now. That's why we have a dog park pet village now. Those are the kinds of things that these young families want in their community. Along with great schools, have a great school system, along with being a safe community. We're a very safe community. So we have a lot of things going for us to be able to attract these young families to our community.
They're completing or maybe in the middle of a project downtown as well.
That's right.
Well, that'll probably get finished.
It will be finished in the first half of this year. And what it's going to do is revitalize downtown. There are so many things that are going to happen downtown that I'm really excited about. The Chamber of Commerce is renovating their building. It's going to look nice inside and out. We've got a pizza franchise that's going to be developed downtown. We've got 3 or 4 businesses downtown that have expanded and started downtown. So a year from now, downtown will be the focal point, for one of the focal points of our community. And I'm excited about that.
I think you just opened a new dog park.
That's right. Yeah, we call it Pet Village, and it's in Wagoner Park, and it's a 1 acre, I think a little bit less than an acre fenced area, and we've got an area for small dogs, an area for large dogs, and over time we'll put features in there, for the dogs to play, and there's benches there, and there's going to be water there, so yeah, it'd be pretty neat. It's just it'll be a focal point. Again, I mean, it's fun for the dogs, but what I like about it also is it's a place for people to congregate and talk.
Yeah. Right. And I think there's a fundraiser underway to build a animal shelter.
That's exactly right. Yeah, we've got a state-of-the-art animal shelter, but it's way, past its prime. And so we're in the middle now. We've had a family that wants to remain anonymous that have donated $50,000.
That was big
to the
for
shelter.
This, wasn't it?
Oh, of course it was. Yeah, I mean that was a great way to get it kicked off.
Yeah.
So they'll match everything up to $50,000. So, and South Jackson Civic Center is going through a renovation as well.
Yeah.
So we want to really position Tullahoma as a retail destination, an arts destination. And those kinds of things. We're certainly a medical destination. We're certainly an aviation destination. So 2016 is an exciting time to be in Tullahoma.
More Newsleader on 6 is coming up after these messages.
All I have to do to think about what I was physically before and what I am now, and I don't ever want to go back to that original situation.
The overall mission of the rehab team is always what is best for the patient and how we can facilitate maximum potential from every resident.
Well, the most important thing to me is that I'm allowed to do whatever I want to do,
Everyday miracles at Life Care Center of Tullahoma.
We're losing it, doctor.
Not on my shift. Quickly, brush. Roller.
What a transformation.
It's gonna be okay.
Okay, nothing.
At Paintworks of Tullahoma, we specialize in domestic emergencies with Martin Senior Paints. You can be the paint doctor too when you treat your home with Martin Senior interior and exterior finishes.
Doctor, we've got another one.
Got you covered.
Paintworks of Tullahoma. Come see the paint doctor, Stat.
Welcome back. Tonight we bring you part 3 of Tom Corrington's interview with Motlow College's president, Dr. Anthony Kinkle. In this segment, Dr. Kinkle talks about the lack of reading skills in incoming freshmen.
Even though students are going into the STEM, the science, technology, engineering, and math, you still got to read word problems.
Sure.
You got to be able to understand. I tell students, I go into our English classes all the time and say, there's a reason why we require you to take a writing class, because when I go to hire, I'm going to get 100 applicants for every job at Motlow State. And the first thing I'm going to see is how well you write on your cover letter and resume. You don't write well there, we throw your resume away. And they're just shocked to find that out. I said, why? They said, well, Dr. Kinkle, why do you do that? You don't know what's inside of me. How come you throw my resume out, my cover letter, because I can't write well? I said, because I don't want to hire careless people. Why would I hire a careless person when I got 10 others that are really good at it? That we're only going to hire the best. And I think young people, there's another theory too, is that and I see it too with helicopter parents, that's what we call you can't believe, Tom, you can't believe the parents that call me now, and it's on their adult kid, and it's wonderful that they're interested in everything, but in some ways we've raised a generation of students that have always gotten a medal for something. They've always got rewarded for something, and when they hit tough times, they don't know how to deal with it. So mom and dad have to come in. I had 3 parents call me yesterday over issues. I said, how come your kid isn't calling me? They're an adult. We're trying to teach them how to be an adult. You're not going to be able to call their boss when they get hired. We've got to teach young people the skills of overcoming adversity. They're not learning that. And so I talk to our students a lot about failure. There really is no such thing as a failure. This is what my parents taught me. All failure is a learning opportunity. So you didn't scale this mountain, but guess what? When you go to scale the next one, look at all that you've learned. It's okay to fail a little bit. I tell the students, I had 1 D in my entire college career, only had 1. I got it in accounting, got a D. I had trouble understanding that accounting language. Yeah. And now I'm running a $30 million business because I didn't let that D define me. I learned from it, I tried to get better at it, and went on. And we've got a lot of young people at our college right now. The minute they get a bad grade, oh, I knew college wasn't for me. You know, my boyfriend's telling me I'm too dumb anyway, I shouldn't be here. My parents never had a degree, and they said, how come you now didn't go to work? What are you wasting time for at Motlow State? And they get a bad grade. Maybe they're right. So we're working with those students to say, don't listen to that. We're all going to get bad grades occasionally.
We're not teaching them to be independent. Huh?
That's right, exactly right. Yeah. Learn from it and get better.
Yeah. A little bit about how you have managed what it's taken for you to cope with the Tennessee Promise excess of students.
Well, I tell everyone I see, I'd rather have the problem of too many cars from a parking lot than too many open spaces. Too few. So, you know, we've hired 40-some more adjunct faculty. We're looking at probably 5 or 6 new full-time faculty for next fall because we now find out the onslaught that we've got to accommodate. We're teaching differently. We have what's called a first-year experience where students that are coming in with low reading scores, back to that reading, we have a special class for them that they have to take called the first-year experience. Working with those students, we know they're going to have challenges because they can't read well. And we're finding now, Tom, that we have to teach students how to be a good student. You know, sit in front of the class, get to know your professor on a personal note outside in the hallway, find a study partner that you can buddy up with to study together to encourage you, because there's going to be times you're going to want to quit. It's tough. Motlow State will never lower the standards for anybody. We tell parents and students, don't come here if you don't want to work for it. And I say, you know, if it were easy, anybody could get a college degree and they'd pay us all minimum wage. So you want it to be tough. We're not going to lower the standards, but we're going to do everything we can to show you how to be successful. We have to show students how to take notes properly. We have to show them how to read for comprehension. You can't just read and skim and say, oh, I studied. You've got to learn how to read to comprehend what you're reading. So we have to get better, Tom, at what we do. You know, and we will. We're moving into the digital world. You know, this thing right here, 91% of my students carry this around everywhere. And so we're finding ways to utilize this to teach better.
We'll be right back in a moment.
Here at Stan McNabb Collision Center, we work with all major insurance companies, and we get the job done right the first time, on time.
Well, I grew up in Tullahoma. We'd always done business with Stan McNabb, so when we needed collision service after a run-in with a deer, we knew to call those guys. We already had trust with them. We called Cody. He took great care of us. He kept us posted every step of the way, and we couldn't have been more pleased.
Getting your vehicle back to pre-loss condition shouldn't be a headache. So in the event of an accident, contact me, Cody Hall, at Stan McNabb Collision Center.
Here at Manchester Funeral Home, we know the importance of living and working in our local community because it's those families who we serve during their time of need honorably. We believe in supporting local business and offer only 100% Batesville caskets, the best in the industry and a driver of our local economy. If you want straightforward and fair pricing while working with the people you know, choose Manchester Funeral Home, serving your community since 1932. And pre-planning and pre-funding can be the best gift you ever leave your loved ones. Call us to pre-arrange. Manchester Funeral Home. Our family, caring for your family since 1932.
Welcome back. Regular physical activity can produce long-term health benefits by reducing your risk of many health conditions such as heart disease and diabetes. It can also increase your chances of living longer, help you control your weight, and even help you sleep better. This video explains aerobic activities and provides you easy to understand examples of different levels of effort.
All these people are engaging in aerobic activities. What does that mean? Well, aerobics, what is also referred to as cardio, is any activity that gets you breathing harder and your heart beating faster for a continuous period of time. Aerobic activity could be walking briskly, running hard, riding a bicycle, pushing a lawnmower, swimming in the sun, or dancing under the stars. I'm Dave Patania, and in this video, I'll show you what counts towards the guidelines for aerobic activities. For substantial health benefits, it's recommended that most adults get at least 150 minutes a week of moderate intensity aerobic activity, such as brisk walking, or 75 minutes a week of vigorous intensity aerobic activity, such as jogging, or an equivalent mix of both moderate and vigorous intensity aerobic activity each week. Intensity is simply how hard your body is working during aerobic activity. To count toward the guidelines, it requires a moderate or vigorous level of effort. But how do you know if you're doing a light, moderate, or vigorous intensity aerobic activity? For most people, daily activities such as shopping or light housework don't increase your heart rate very much. That makes these activities light intensity. Things such as walking briskly, swimming, or mowing the lawn increase their heart rate some, making them moderate intensity activities. Vigorous intensity activities include such workouts as running, playing basketball, swimming laps, or mountain biking. These activities really get your heart pumping and you breathing heavily.
Hold to the back. Very good.
Here's a simple way to find out your level of activity. It's called the talk test. I've just started walking slowly on this treadmill, a light intensity activity. Now, as you can hear, I can still speak normally, but in a few minutes when I increase my pace, okay, now I've raised my heart rate and even broken a sweat. This is the moderate intensity level. I'm still able to talk fairly normally, but listen when I try and sing. She'll be coming round the mountain when she... Well, luckily I can't sing at this level, which should be the same for you if you're doing activities that require moderate effort, such as walking briskly, dancing, or mowing the lawn. Now let's really pick up the pace. Okay, now I'm jogging. And as you can tell now, I'm not able to say more than a few words without pausing for a breath. I'm breathing hard and fast, and my heart rate has increased quite a bit. This is vigorous intensity activity. Wow, that was a nice little workout. For most adults, vigorous intensity activities include jogging, jumping rope, playing basketball, or swimming laps. What all this means is that if you're looking to get the benefits of 150 minutes of moderate intensity activity in less time, you can gradually replace some of your moderate level activities with vigorous aerobic activities. A rule of thumb is that 1 minute of vigorous intensity activity equals about 2 minutes of moderate intensity activity. So in other words, for every 10 minutes of vigorous intensity activity undertaken, you're getting about the same benefits as doing 20 minutes of a moderate intensity activity. Many people prefer this option because it gives them important health benefits in half the time. However, if you haven't been very active lately, slowly work your way up to the more vigorous intensity activities. It's important for your safety and your health to feel comfortable doing activities that require moderate effort before moving up the intensity. Gradually replace moderate activities such as brisk walking with vigorous activities that take a lot more effort, like jogging. The guidelines are all about doing appropriate types and amounts of activity that are also right for your fitness level. What counts in your aerobic activities is getting active because some activity is better than none. For substantial health benefits, aim to meet the minimum guidelines we talked about earlier. If you want even more health benefits, do more physical activity. I'm Dave Patania, asking you to raise that heart rate and get active, healthy, and happy.
The pet of the week at the Tullahoma Animal Shelter this week is a laid-back and very loving American Bulldog mix named Bruno. Bruno entered the shelter as a stray and is approximately 5 years old. He's up to date on his vaccinations, heartworm negative, and has been neutered by the Tullahoma Animal Shelter. Be sure to check out the Tullahoma Shelter on Facebook for upcoming events and fundraisers. Remember, you can help support your local shelter by adopting, donating, or volunteering. For more details, contact Teresa at 454-9580. The Tullahoma Animal Shelter is located at 942 Maplewood Avenue.
The Coffee County Humane Society featured pet this week is Josie. Josie is a lab mix looking for a forever home. The shelter also has many other dogs available for adoption at 1210 Oakdale Street in Manchester. Hours of operation for the shelter are 7:30 a.m. to 2:30 p.m. Monday through Friday. The shelter's phone number is 723-2730. Donations for animal care can be made at the Coffee County Humane Society at P.O. Box 252 in Manchester. Their website is www.coffeehumane.org.
Stay with us. Your weather forecast is coming up next.
The Kia Summers on Us sales event is going on right now at Russell Barnett Kia of Tullahoma. Let me tell you about this event. Purchase a new Kia Sedona, Kia Optima, Kia Forte, and receive 0% financing up to 66 months and your first 3 payments for free. For a limited time only, no strings attached. With America's best warranty, the 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain warranty, Kia is the power to surprise. The Kia Summers on Us sales event going on right now. Why buy anywhere else?
All right, the cat's out of the bag at Carroll Street Liquor in Tullahoma. Now you know where to go if you're planning a get-together and want the ideal wine or spirit. Party planning can be stressful, but at Carroll Street Liquor you'll find everything you need. Mixers, gift sets, and all of your favorite spirit brands. So if you're feeling the pressure to pull off the ideal party, come to Carroll Street Liquor and select among the seemingly endless supply of wines, spirits, gift sets, and more. Your perfect party, it's in the bag with Carroll Street Liquors.
Welcome back. We'll take a look at your weather forecast at this time, starting with your weather history on this day. The record high was in 1932 at 72 degrees. The record low was in 1963 at 0. Average high on this day is 49 and the average low is 31. For tonight, expect partly cloudy weather with a low of around 40. Rain in your forecast for Friday with a high of 51 and a low of 36, and mostly cloudy weather expected on Saturday with a high of 41 and a low of 24. And that's our newsletter report for this evening. We invite you to join us each Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday at 6, 8, and 10 from Newsleader on 6. You have a good evening.
And from everybody here on Newsleader 6, want to wish you and your families a fantastic weekend. Thank you.